my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deja, and if you're not new here, welcome to today's video. We are going to be discussing all the books that I read in April and my ratings and quick little thoughts on the books. I'm gonna try to not make this video long. I am not in my usual setting. I am sitting at my desk and I figured I'd sit down really quick to give you guys this video so I can get it uploaded for you guys. So we're gonna hop right into today's video. First, I started off April by reading Frida McFadden's The Coworker. I really enjoyed this book. I feel like the first couple books I'm gonna mention were all like part of my reading vlog that I posted. So if you watch that, you kind of already know my thoughts and like review on it. So I'll keep it short and sweet. But I really did enjoy this one. I feel like I'm finding the Frida books I like because I read other books of hers and I did not really enjoy them. So this one was definitely up there. I think probably like my top #1 favorite of her book so far. So I was happy to have finally found a book of hers that I enjoyed. And if I didn't mention, I did give it a 4 stars. Yeah, I just didn't expect the plot twist that came. I loved the characters that were in the book. And yeah, I think it was a fun ride. I'm gonna say that. If it was a fun ride, and if you haven't read it, please go read it, because that one, again, that's like my favorite Frida book I think I've read so far. Like up there with Housemaid, but I think it just beat Housemaid just because of the characters in the book. Because Housemaid, the characters annoyed me, but this one, I really love the characters. So yeah, I suggest reading it if you haven't already. The second book I read was Little Strangers by Leigh Rivers, and I gave this one a 2.75/3 stars. Again, I mentioned this in my reading vlog. I think that it's like exactly what it was supposed to do. It's only like 200 pages or so. It's a smut book. I think I just had a couple icks with it because it is like a foster brother sister trope, but literally they said like little sister, big brother like a gajillion times in the story, and that was just super annoying. Like, we get it, you guys are brother and sister, but like not really. But like, I get that you guys are emphasizing brother and sister, but like you don't have to say it every like 30 times in a chapter. So that just gave me the ick. And then like the plot of it, the way she reacted when like the plot was revealed, I feel like it was very like meh. Like, she didn't give any emotion to it, and I just didn't enjoy that. But again, like I said, it's a short smutty read, you know, you get what you get with that. But I think where they went wrong was that they were comparing it on TikTok to Haunting Adeline, and I just felt like, don't disrespect Zayd like that, because he's like top tier and this was just not that. So if you are going into it without expecting it to be a Haunting Adeline vibe, you'll probably enjoy a quick, spicy, smutty read. But other than that, it just wasn't it for me, and that's that. The next book I read in April was Expiration Dates, and I didn't even read this. I ended up DNFing it. Again, if this was part of my reading vlog, and you guys know that I DNF'd it. Me and one of the girls on Discord read this together, and she even gave it a 2-star. I just had her finish it and like tell me what happens, because I just couldn't get through to it. It was definitely not my vibe whatsoever. I did not enjoy it. It was really boring. I'm not a fluffy romance girl. I wanted to give it a try, and it just wasn't it for me. Nothing was happening. I just felt like absolutely nothing was happening in the book, and I feel like that's the problem with me in like clean, fluffy romances. It's like, what's happening? Like, what's the point of the story? Like, what are we reading this for? And then overall, I just think I'm exiting like a romance era where I just don't even want to read any romance books, because it's just all the same stuff, and it just doesn't get for me at the moment. So I'm like not in the mood for a lot of romance at the moment. So, you know, take that how you want to take it. Following up with another fluffy romance, surprisingly, I read I Hope This Doesn't Find You by Anne Lang. Another one that I struggled with, and honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I found a audiobook of it, I wouldn't have read it. I just like cleaned the house while I listened to it, and it was really quick. I finished it in one day, like literally I started it in the morning and finished it by the evening time. So that just was like the only reason probably why I finished it, because it was quick. But overall, it's like super YA, super kiddish, and yeah, I really don't have much to say about it. I gave that one a 3-star just because the fact that I actually finished it and I thought the ending was kind of cute. You know, kiddish romance, but other than that, I think that was very generous actually, now looking back at it, to give it a 3-star. I'd probably say a 2-star, but I'm very generous with my readings these days apparently, so that's that. Then we got into the good stuff, and I read book 1 in the Kindred's Curse Saga, Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, and I really enjoyed this one. I don't know, there's just something about this book that lives rent-free in my brain at the moment. Maybe because I just want to like keep, I don't know, I just love the slow burn in this. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I gave this a 5-star. I feel like that should say enough. I literally can't stop thinking about this. I will probably be picking up book 2 in the next like day or two, because I just can't stop thinking about it and I want to continue reading this series. So if you haven't, please read this. I got the recommendation from Rachel from Ravenhand Reader, and don't regret it. I love it so much. Such a good read. Love the world, love the magic system, I just love it a lot. Okay, read it. Next, I read The Housemaid's Secret, which I gave 3 stars. I did enjoy it. I think I was like living off of the hype from the first book and kind of just expecting it to be as great, which I think it was in its own way. Again, it's like, you know, kind of like, you know, things in the second book, so it's kind of like you're expecting the same gist to happen, which it did, but also gave its own plot twist at the end. So I did enjoy that, but again, I think book 1 was way better. I still will read book 3 when it comes out. I'm excited to see what she gives us, hoping that, you know, she gives us something extra exciting and a little bit different. And if it's kind of the same vibe, I would kind of be upset. So, you know, fingers crossed it's a good one, because I'm finally enjoying Frida books and I don't want that to ruin it. So hopefully she gives us something different. Next, I read Fae Princess by Nikki St. Crow, and this is book, I think, 4 in the Vicious Lost Boys series, her Peter Pan retelling. I read the other 3 like a year, maybe 2 years ago, and I never just seemed to pick this one up, and so I finally got it done to be part of like my finishing series. So I just finally decided to pick this one up. It is very short, so I'm like, why not? I did enjoy it. I think when I was reading these series, I definitely was enjoying more spice, more dark romance, and all the smut, whereas now I'm not really that much into it. Like I can care less about it. I skim through spicy scenes. It just doesn't move me anymore. So I gave this a 3-star. I still do overall like the plot of the story. I think there's gonna be yeah, there's another book coming out, I believe, so I will be reading that. I actually think I'm part of her ARC/street team. So either way, I'll be reading it because I do like the overall story and the plot of it all. So yeah, I'm glad I got to finally finish the series though, 10 years later. Then I read Ask for Andrea, which I feel like is floating around if you're on like Facebook book groups and stuff like that. I feel like this book is floating around everywhere. I did enjoy it. It felt my thoughts on it were, while I was reading it, I was like enjoying it because me and my book buddy are like talking about what we're thinking is going on as we're reading the book together. But then as I look back, I feel like it was really slow. The ending just wasn't like what I thought it was gonna be. It was just very, yeah, it just didn't give like a big reveal or a big twist. I don't know, it just wasn't like what I thought it was gonna be for it being like hyped up everywhere. I think the story was good, And I'm not normally like a paranormal like reader. I don't really, I definitely don't like the back and forth of like past present stories. I don't know what it is about it, but I just always want to skip the past part and like read just the present part. I don't know why I'm like that, but I don't know. But overall, I enjoyed it. There are multiple POVs. I think there's 3 POVs that you get in total. But I think I enjoyed the story. I loved watching how all the girls come together, how their paths crossed. I think that's what made it a good story for me, was just like I really wanted to know how their paths crossed and like what they were going to do once they like got together and started plotting together. But even then, nothing really exciting happened. So yeah, I gave it a 3-star. It wasn't horrible. If you want to like see what it's about, I definitely say read it. Yeah, if you don't like it, then DNF it, like, you know, no pressure. Then I read Carnage from Chantal Tesser, book 5 in the Lord series. Don't know why it took so long to read it. Again, I think I just got into a place where I don't really care for like smut and like really dark romances, but of course it's the Lords. Hello, we love them. The Spade brothers are, they're just it. There's something about these Lords that make you question your mentality. But I did love the story. I love the plot. I always loved like the plot of the story, the storyline of the parents, how all these crazy things are happening, and if you know, you know, like you just know. But I loved seeing like Riot and Tyson. I love just like seeing everybody from the other books being in this one and seeing how all the story and plot from the other books tied into this one. And if you know, like when shit goes down in the other books, they bring the bad guys or the people they want to like torture to Carnage. And so the Spade brothers are the one who run it. So, you know, we get to see all the different point of views from when the other books brought their people to Carnage, and like if that makes any sense. I don't know, but either way, I loved it. It was such a good read. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah, who do I like the most? I don't know. Don't ask me. Do not ask, because I don't know. I love them all. Need them, want them all. So that's that. Then I read the 2nd volume in Villains Are Destined to Die. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, I feel like I talk about this manhwa a lot. I've just been obsessed. Like, I really don't know what to say. I've been obsessed with reading these. I got the recommendation from Mel Reed's channel, and I read book 2. I just got book 3, and then I went to Barnes the other day and I saw all of them at Barnes, and I literally grabbed all of. I only had book 1 physically. I have book 2 and 3 on my Kindle, but I even mentioned in another video that I knew eventually I wanted to own all of these because I love them so much. So when I went to Barnes and I saw literally 1 copy of each, I think they have like 2 of the 5th volume, baby, I grabbed them all and I needed them all. So I now own all 1 through 5. Book 6 comes out, I think it's coming out soon, sometime this year, I believe. So I'm excited. I will be reading volume 3. I don't really like to try to explain this because I feel like when I explain it, it makes absolutely no sense. So just give it a go in blind and enjoy it, because I gave all of these so far a 5-star. I just love the characters. I love the angst that's like between all of the love interests. I love the storyline. It's just a fun, quick, different type of read, and I want to find more manhwas or like mangas like this. So if any of you watching this have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below, because I am dying to find more of something like this desperately. SOS. So please comment down below. Then I read The Final Gambit, which is book 3 in the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And that one was also a really good one. I feel like I had a lot of good books this month, actually. So this one is book 3. I actually enjoyed book 2 better. I thought book 3 was going to be like off the charts because book 2 just like spilled all the tea. But it didn't. Well, it did because obviously it's book 3. But I just feel like the twist and the turn and like the of my head wanting to explode from all the information happened in book 2. And I gave that a 5-star, and I gave the third one 4 stars. So I think overall the series, the trilogy, there's more. There's like the Hawthorne Brothers book, but that one's also just like a different setting, set in a different place, different storyline. So I just go based off like the 3 of them, and I think overall it's like a 5-star series for me. It's a fun read, super fast paced, the twists, the turns, the love interest, the everything. It's just such a good read. I think everybody should read it because it's a mystery, it's romance subplot, it keeps you on your toes, and again, it's just a super fast paced read that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. Then I read A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen, and guys, I got the hype. Oh my gosh, 5 stars. This was a 5-star for me. I was reading another fantasy, I was reading an arc, and I was trying to read both of them at the same time. But once I got into this, which mind you was by chapter 2, chapter 1 I was already like, okay, I need more. Chapter 2, I was invested. I was like, okay, this one is gonna have to pause because I need to give this my undivided attention. And whew, it was so good. I really enjoyed it. I get the hype. I do feel like if you read a lot of fantasy books or high fantasy, maybe you wouldn't give it a 5-star. Maybe you'd give it like a 3.5, maybe even a 4. But for a short fantasy read, I ate it up. Like, no crumbs. She did her thing with this one, and I definitely want to now go and read her other series. I think it's like the Bridge Kingdom. I want to read those now because I'm like, if this is what you do, girl, I love her work now, and she will be like an auto buy for me because I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it. I thought it was gonna be one of those books that were hyped up, but no, 5-star. I love the storyline, I love the angst, I love the enemies to lovers, I loved the magic. I just loved everything about this. It was so fun. I was giddy, I was shocked, I was on my toes. And then the ending, and then the plot twist and the betrayal, it was just all so good. And I highly recommend anyone who's like getting into fantasy, or even if you just enjoy fantasy and you want like a not fun, but a good fantasy book. I feel like it's short, and I'm just excited for book 2. I can't wait for book 2 to come out because I'm ready to know what happens when she goes to meet these people, because honey, I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. So I just want to know. I'm excited. I really did enjoy that one. Then I continued to get my heart ripped out with Daisy Hates. So here's my thing. I love Magnolia and BJ better. It's kind of like all I have to say. I did enjoy it. I think I just really am more invested in Magnolia and BJ, although their story was very sad as well. There was parts where I'm like, oh, like I got teary-eyed. But overall, I think that Magnolia and BJ are better. But I do love this one for its own reasons. I do feel like this one is a little more street, and you know, their families are gangsters and there's guns, and for that aspect I enjoyed it for its own, like, it's not different. I mean, you know, it's the same because they're going through the same things, but I just loved watching Christian and Daisy, and then Daisy and whatever his name was. But overall, I really enjoyed this. I cannot wait, which I actually am gonna be starting in a couple days, is hopping back into Magnolia and BJ's story with The Long Way Home. So I'm so excited. Then I literally just finished reading Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. I'm not like in the biggest romance mood, but this was another one that I had to read to close out like series that I was in the middle of. So overall, I'm happy I finally got it done. She's a thick one, but I like the story. I love me some Christian. You know, I just think that it's kind of your typical romance book, your happy ending, the babies, and all the good stuff. Yeah, but I liked seeing the other characters like Bridget and Ava and their men. And then I realized that her other series, I forgot what it's called, but like The King of Wrath and all those books, I didn't know that they intertwined with this in a way. So in this one you meet Dante, which I'm not sure if you meet him in a previous book, but you meet Dante and his lady, and I guess that's book 1 of that series, which I think is King of Wrath. So yeah, I'm kind of like, do I want to read that now? Because Dante and his lady seem like they got some shit going on, and I'm like, what's the tea? Why don't you like this man? What's going on? So yeah, I overall enjoyed it. I gave it 3 star, but again, you know, I'm kind of not in the fantasy. I gave this a 3 star, but again, I'm definitely just not into feeling romance books at the moment. So yeah, overall I do think it was a good one. I hear that this one is like the best out of all the other ones, which I can't really give an opinion because I'm not into romance at the moment. But I do have to say I loved book 1 the most out of the rest of them. This one probably can be up there. I do love Christian a lot. I'm just gonna say that I love Christian. He did his thing and I'm here for him. So the last book that I'm currently reading is a fantasy arc that I had gotten, and I am currently like 87% of the way in, so I will be finishing that tonight. And guys, this was the one that I was reading while I was reading A Fate Inked in Blood that I had to pause because I needed to give my time to this. But I'm not gonna lie, while I was reading this, I was like scratching and itching my neck to get back into this one, which is A Curse of Breath and Blood by K.W. Foster. And it was, again, this was an arc that I had gotten, but guys, what got me was that the characters are 30 years old, which I love because I feel like we get a lot of like teenage 19 early 20 characters in fantasy books because they're like discovering their powers or all these things. This one is just so good. Last night I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning because it just got so good, and I think I was at like 60% when I started last night, and I got to like 87%. So I just was up because like war was happening. I was tearing up for the sad part that was happening because my little heart could not take it. The book starts off sad, and again, it's the characters are adult characters, so I just really enjoy that aspect of this book, and the world building, the magic system, the love triangle, the angst. It's just so good. So I will definitely be having another video talking more about this arc because I really enjoyed it. So yes, that was, this probably will end up being like a 5-star read, if not like 4.5 for sure, but borderline could be 5 stars. So that was all the books I read in April. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you guys read any of these books, let me know which you guys rated them, or if I read anything that you're planning on reading, let me know which ones, and tell me your favorite book that you read in April so far. And if you made it to this far in the video, put the sword emoji because I read some really good fantasy books this month. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.